Hello everyone, welcome to Aurelia's Crafting Ideas. I am making a Patriotic Rain Chime. The main supplies you need for making the rain chime are some cans. You will need 3 empty cans or more. You will also need some wire and make sure to have a thick gauge. You will also need some chalk paint. There's red, blue, and white. I will let you know if I use any additional items to complete my project. The first thing you want to do is put some holes on your can, and you want it around the band. So I put a hole here and one straight across, like that. If you have one of these tools, go ahead and use it. It works really well. If not, you can always use a nail. Just punch a hole in there and create that hole. I have my can and I'm ready to paint. I'm going to do red, white, and then blue. I think I'm going to do like somewhat of an even amount of red, white, and blue stripes. So like, I think the red and then white to there and then blue. And it's quite an easy project. Look at this. I've been wanting to make some rain chimes for my yard for a while. And this is like an excellent time to add a patriotic rain chime. Now, I'm never outside to catch the actual rain, catch it. Because, during rainstorms, I'm in the house. So, yeah, but I like to watch them when I'm watering the plants. I'll fill up the little cups or whatever it comes with the chime and watch the water drip. I mean, they're a cute little addition to the yard, right? Isn't this cute? So, the other thing I need to do before I get too far in my project is to create a hole at the bottom of my can so that the water can come through. Now, my nifty tool will not create that hole for me, so I think what I will do is to use a nail. Yeah, I'm just going to use a nail to puncture the bottom of my cans. So I'm going back over with the second coat. And yeah, that gets rid of that pinkish tone that's going on with the first layer. All right, let me let that one dry and then do the other two. I am painting the inside of the can, and I'm only doing the band right here. You see how it smooths there and then ripples? I'm just doing the smooth section of the can, so like all the way down to where the ripple starts. I think this will be good because I don't want to see that shiny metal when I walk by. And it's on the inside, so I don't think it requires a second coat, but if you want to do a second coat, that's your preference there. And then I'm going to just run the paint right here at the top around the rim there and cover that shiny metal. I am ready to do the blue band on my can, so about right here, I think that'll be wide enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this bottom band right here on my can. Cover all that shiny stuff like that, right? I am ready to add my white stripe. And that's going to go right here in the middle. I want to do just a slight overlap right here on the red stripe. See, like that. My only suggestion is make sure that your red and your blue paints are completely dry before adding the white paint. Turn it this way, and then I'm going to overlap the blue too. They are now red, white, and blue. I also put holes on the bottom of my cans. I put 3 holes in there on all 3. And I just used a nail, pound it with the hammer and created the beautiful array of holes. So yeah, take one of these. It's very useful. I thought about just making a ball of wire, dropping it in here, and then, hoping that they will stay together when it fills with water. But I don't think that's such a bright idea. So the next thing I thought about doing is making a craft stick. I went to take my craft stick and cut this down so it will fit inside my can. So I just need to measure this a little bit so that I know it will drop in there. So let me trim this down. So see, and then that's going to go in there like that. Next, I need to cut my wire long enough so I can create that hanger there. I'm going to bend this right quick. So that seems like a good amount. So that's going to be about 10 inches. And then I want to give myself some space so I can wrap the wire on each side. Maybe about 3 inches on each side. And then maybe create a curl or something. So I'm going to do another 12 inches. So that's going to give me 30 inches. Next, I need to cut some wire to connect my cans. But before I start cutting, I need to figure out how much space I want between each can. That seems good, right? See, about 6 inches. So I want to make sure I cut enough to go from the bottom here to the tip, so that's 6 inches, 6 inches. And then I want the wire to go into the second can here, which is 4.5. So I get 4.5, and then I want to give myself enough to wrap the craft stick for can 1 and can 2. So maybe 3 inches each. That'll give me 16, and I want to give myself some extra, so I will cut this at 18 inches. And I want another piece from can 2 to can 3, the same length. And then for my 4th one that's going to go on the bottom, I need to create another piece, and I just need a small piece for that one. 6 inches maybe. So I'm going to cut that one too. These 3 pieces I need to connect all my cans. I want to take one of these longer ones, and I want to wrap one of my craft sticks. And I'm going to leave just a little bit hanging over. And I'm going to go to the center of the craft stick and just wrap that a couple of times. I think that's good. And then come back around. And I want to bend the wire like right in the center of the craft stick. So see, it looks like this right here. And then I want to bring this other wire back, you know, the piece that I had sticking out. And I want to twist these two together. So I'm going to bend that one too, just make things easier for myself. And then I'm going to twist this together. Like that. See, it looks like this, right? And then I'm going to take this piece and put it in my can. And I'm going to put the wire through that center nail hole I made. And I'm going to drop that in there. See, like that. And then if I tug, I can tell that it is very sturdy. So we're good. If you like, you can always put like a drop of hot glue right there and then secure it to the can if you like. When you pull the wire through, to make sure you have that small piece that you use to twist the wires together, make sure it comes through. And I'm just going to bend that one, the tiny one, just to help so the craft stick stays put for now. So now I have this right here. Take a little piece here, press it around, and then wrap this twice on each side of this wire here sticking up. So there we go, like this. And then come around and bend it here, just like we did before, right? So bend it, there we go. And then feed that through the second can. So there we go. Back to where we were at. We're going to need another craft stick. So now, here's what I'm thinking. Take your craft stick, put it here. Take your wire and bend it so it catches and it doesn't, your wire doesn't slide back and forth. Now, I'm going to trim this craft stick down just a little bit more. There we go, like this. And then I'm going to wrap this. Just pull it really tight when you're wrapping, right? Wrap it on the side, bring it over, wrap it on the other side. But you want to wrap it 2-3 times. So there we go. So look. So if you try to hang it, it'll stay put. It won't unravel. Come over and bend that wire right in the center, like that. Now we want to connect this piece to the bottom can. So we need 6 inches plus 4.5 right there. And I want to bend that right there. I'm going to take another craft stick and then just as we did before, go like halfway, make sure the bend is sticking up right there, and then wrap. You want to take this and put it in the bottom can. So now we have this, and I'm going to bend that over just a little bit so it doesn't drop back in. This is where we're going to need another craft stick. I thought about just making a ball of wire, dropping it in here, and then, you know, hoping that they will stay together when it fills with water. But I don't think that's such a bright idea. So the next thing I thought about doing is maybe taking a craft stick. You want to take your craft stick and put it on the can. Just slide it underneath that bent wire like this. You want to take your wire and let me trim that. Make it a little smaller. There we go. And wrap it. I use my pliers a lot easier. I'm kind of doing that X here. Wrap. Wrap as tightly as you can and then press down on that wire so it doesn't bulk up. So here we go. Look. This one actually worked. As you can tell, I am experimenting. When I try to stand this up right, the can slides. So I made an adjustment there. The next thing I want to do is secure my can so it stays upright when I hang it up. Because right now, you see how my wire just like travels? Just a suggestion. You can always run the wire from can 1 all the way to can 3. You just have to make sure your wire is long enough, and so you can make the adjustment with each can as they go. But me, I find it easier to just chop it up and do little sections at a time. I'm going to take a piece of wire now. I'm going to cut 2 of them at 15 inches. Line that up and then cut down. Alright, so I'm going to take this here and I'm going to put that through the hole right here and then bend that. And then I want to twist this wire here. Kind of like creating a handle, right? Sort of. And then we'll just wrap the ending on there until you're comfortable with it, and then just cut the excess wire. I went somewhere, there it is. And I want to run this wire straight across like this to the other side, but in the center I'm going to bend it so I can see. This is where the other hole is. Now I'm going to go about halfway between the bend and here, and then just kind of, I'm going to kink it right here so I know where it is. I want to take a dowel like this, and I want to wrap this wire between the cans. So I'm going to put the wire here, see how on the bend where the center is, and I want to wrap this. You can take a dowel like this if you like. Just make sure you got the wire running through, and then just kind of wrap it. Wrap it a couple of times. Like this, right? And then you want to take this ending and then bring it through the other side on your can. And then you want to kind of pull a little bit. So see what it looks like right here? And bring this back. I'm going to trim this some of this wire off I don't need. And then I'm going to wrap this wire here. Just like that. And then trim that down again to get rid of what I don't need. So see, this is what I have. And then for whatever reason, your little rings that you created starts looking like it wants to undo, just squish it back together. Take your pliers and squish that back together. So see there, like this. Okay, now we want to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to take my wire, go here, twist this, and trim that down. Come back around, get your helper right here. Bring your wire across. Okay, I'm going to find a center on here, right? I'm going to find the center, bend it there so I know. Again, take your dowel or whatever you're using, just put it on the wire there. Put it on the bend, the wire and the dowel. See, like this, and then wrap this. Wrap the wire. Like that. And then run that across. Like this. Remember, don't tug too hard on this, because if you do, your little round creation is going to spread. And then take this wire and then wrap. I'm going to trim this. And wrap, wrap, wrap. Now let's go back to can 1 and make the handle. So I'm going to put this through the hole here on each side, and I want like about a 10-inch loop, right? You can measure it again with your ruler if you like, if you want to be precise. About right there. Yeah, take a guess. It's wire. It doesn't really matter. So go like this, see? Bring that up and then wrap this wire here on the handle. I'm going to wrap up and then wrap back down and then maybe come back up one more time. It doesn't matter. Just so it's wrapped. And then trim. And I'm going to squish together. I have decided to use a different wire to do this little spiral thing. Okay, so let's do the side. and then wrap this again. See? But you do understand, right? That's why we have a long piece. You can wrap it, bring your wire through here, back through the hole, like that. And then you're going to need your dowel. Just take your dowel and wrap. Like this. So see, you got a cute curly tail there. Grab another wire here. And I'm going to take this wire and just kind of bring that up through here and just kind of add it to this here. Just wrap that. Take your dowel and wrap. Pull that off, and then you get another curly on this side. See? A curly on this side and a curly on this side. And we can do that for each can. Do a little curly curl. So I've attached extra wire on the sides here. And I'm just going to create my little curls. You can make them as short or as long as you like. It's all preference. And I'm going to use my pliers to get this last piece to curl right there, and then pull that off. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Do the same with this one down here. Pull it apart. There we go. I like it. And wrap this one. And pull that apart. Oh, look at that. I love these curls. They're so cute. Look. Isn't that fantastic? So another thing you can do is add some like charms on the side, right? To make it bling outside. You can decorate yours however you like. Just have fun with it. Look at this. I added another one. I love these little curls. I put 2 there. So you can do multiples if you like. How adorable. I probably should do the same with this side. So, you know, when you're attaching the wire to your can, you're bound to create missing paint. That's okay. We have extra paint. Oops, so take your paint, of course, and then do a little touch-up. And then, yeah, cover up that spot where the paints came off. Here is my new Patriotic Rain Chime. Isn't this cute? I like it. I love the red, white, and blue stripes. You can embellish yours if you like. You know, it's up to you. It's all preference. But look, I added another curly. So I have 2 curlies on each side of the chimes on all my cans. I like it. I'm quite happy with it. You can also double the hanger too if you like. Or you can triple it, right? You can use, well, if you can find white wire, you can do red, white, and blue. That's another option. You could always add a charm to the sides also. Create a dangle and put some bling blings on there, right? You can also decorate the surface of your chimes. The options are endless. have fun, create one for yourselves. I'm going to go hang this up outside so you can take a look. Here is my Patriotic Rain Chime. I hung it on the hook so we can get some rainwater in there. It's thunderstorming this afternoon, but my rain chime is going to need some additional water, so we're going to go ahead and add that. But I just wanted to let you know that you're going to need 5 craft sticks for this project, and let me show you why. So on the first one, I have the craft stick on the inside, and then the bottom you don't need one because the weight is all dropping. So on the middle one, you're going to need one on the inside and then one on the bottom. And then for the bottom chime, you're going to need one on the inside and then one on the bottom. Those are just kind of hold it together. And the bottom one really is just to support the weight of all the water that's going to be cascading down. We're going to add some water. We're going to put water on the top can, and once we put enough water in there, it should start cascading down. Oh, there you go. See there? From can 1, you see it dripping into can 2. And then if I go down, it's coming from can 2 into can 3. And then it's coming out on the bottom. See? So I like to place these rain chimes next to the plants so it helps to water any plant that is close by. I like the way my Patriotic Rain Chime turned out. I'm quite happy with it. I hope that you like this patriotic idea and that you give it a try. Thank you for stopping by. This is Aurelia. This is Aurelia at Aurelia's Crafting Ideas, and I will see you next time.